As I reflect my daily path of where my life will lead, I recall Amida's words which seem to comfort me. Though the world is filled with so much fear and strife, I always try to be aware of Amida's guide to life. With mindfulness, compassion, Amida's guiding ways, shown to every living thing we come across each day. Kindness and with gentleness, we work to do what's right, to always try to be aware of Amida's guide to life. To always try to be aware of Amida's guide to life.
ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏。
Good morning. Welcome to our hybrid virtual in-person service. My name is Gary Oda, and I would like to thank you for attending this morning's Dharma family service. We will begin the service with a moment of quiet sitting. Reverend Kurohara will strike the bell and will sit for 1 or 2 minutes to quiet our minds and prepare us to hear the Dharma. Then he will strike the bell again, and we will continue with the service.
ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏。
Reverend Kurohara will now chant the Jusei-ge, which is on page 93 of the Purple Service Book.調整が非し無浄土志願不満足政府上昇がお無量公不意大摂取不採所貧具政府上昇が市上仏道妙所長実法空教未証門政府上昇学利欲人少年上映主凡行しぐ無浄土一生天人師人力現代公不詳無才道
少女三苦妙交際集約難回避知恵言滅死公毛案閉塞小膜道通達全宗門高層上満足いよろじぽ日月主樹期天候音符言一種解放像公正独法上大集中説法四式供養一切物具足主特本元年心上満特異三害を女仏無下地通達未不詳願学営利投資最小損志願若国家大戦の感動国書天人当内妙見ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性一切道法菩提心往生安楽ナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダー
Please rise if you are able to follow along with Agatha Amida's Guide to Life, which is on the handout. Please remain standing for the reading of the three treasures. I reflect my daily path of where my life will lead. I recall Amina's
would seem to comfort me. Oh, the world is fair, so much pain and strife. We always try to be of a meter's guide to life. Gentleness, compassion, a meter's guiding way. For to every living thing we come across each day. What's right? We always try to be aware of our leaders' life. Always try to be aware of a meter's guide to life.
I will now recite the three treasures on page 8 of the service book. Please feel free to follow along. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when it will be realized, let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken ourselves to supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be researched in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of the Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in the spirit of universal oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of culprits, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear it and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. We will now have a Dharma message by Reverend Kurahara.
Okay, so before I start my Dharma message for today, I would like to read this passage of how to listen to a Dharma message. If you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. How to listen to a Dharma message. Listen as if I'm listening for the first time. Listen as if the message is for myself alone. Listen as if this is the last chance to listen to the Dharma. In Japanese, 聴聞の心得. この度のこのご縁は初ごとと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は我一人のためと思うべし。この度のこのご縁は根性最後と思うべし。ナマンダブツ、ナマンダブツ、ナマンダブツ、ナマンダブツ、ナマンダブツ。ナマンダブツ、ナマンダブツ。はい。Again, good morning, everyone. So, and then I think it's a Father's Day, weekend. Happy Father's Day. I'd like to say happy to my father in Japan. I think how old? He was born 1944. How old is he? He's 79, kana? Yeah. Okay, so and then since this is a Father's Day weekend, Auckland, Buddhist Church of Auckland, they have a bazaar today. So if you have a chance, please go to the Auckland temple and then spend your money. Okay, be generous. So last week, from Thursday to Saturday, Tokudo ordination training was held at the Jodo Shinshu Center, which is a building, education building next to us. And then Tokudo ordination is scheduled at the Honganji, Kyoto, Japan, in this December. And then we have 11 Tokudo ordination aspirants from North America and then Hawaii. And then they're really, working hard to be ready for the ordination. And I think John is only John. Any other? Yeah, only John. Yeah, John is one of the candidates for this ordination. Ganbatte. Good luck. And then I also saw some BBT members who are helping in the kitchen and dining hall. ありがとうございました. Thank you very much for your support. So I'm serving the Berkeley Buddhist Temple, but I also a staff of Jodo Shinshu International Office, JSIO. And then part of my responsibility, I also coordinated this training program. And I also joined as an instructor. Although I'm coordinator or instructor, but I also learned many things as I attended lectures and then chanting practice. So I'd like to share one thing that I learned during the session last weekend. And then to do so, let me share one passage, which is kind of so-called Gosanda in Japanese, like a quote for my Dharma message today. So again, if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. Saying the name, Nembutsu recitation of Namo Amida Butsu, one will attain birth in the pure land of bliss without fail. This is because birth through the Nembutsu is brought about by the Buddha's primal vow. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 So during the 3-day training session, we had our opening service on Thursday. And then in the opening service, Bishop Marvin Harada addressed the opening message. Since his message was to, ministerial candidates or, people who will go to ordination. So he shared his experience as a Jodo Shinshu priest. So before becoming a bishop of the Buddhist Churches of America, he had served the Orange County Buddhist Church for many, many years. And then during his service, he met many members. And then this is about one of the members. So one time after funeral service, one long-time member came to Reverend Harada and then Reverend Hirata. So Reverend Hirata is a senior minister of the OCBC Orange County Buddhist Church then, and then Reverend Harada worked with Reverend Hirata. So this member, after the funeral service came to him and then said like this, Sensei, Reverend, I always hear that those who passed away will be born in the Amida Buddha's Pure Land. But when I die, please be sure to say, I went to the hell, right? So Reverend Harada and then Reverend Hirata, they're kind of surprised, right? But see, since this member, was very serious, and he insisted. So Reverend Hirata anyway said, okay, I understand, I will do so. Right. Then years later, this member passed away. Reverend Hirata was an officiant of this member's funeral service. And he remembered his promise with this member. So that is to give a Dharma message that he went to the hell. But before the funeral service, Reverend Hirata was wondering, kind of nervous, how he should do. I mean, to give a Dharma message that he went to the hell, but which might sound awkward or kind of even embarrassing because all family members, were listening to this Dharma message. Or he was wondering, should I give a Dharma message, saying that he attained birth in the Pure Land because he was a kind of long-time member and a serious seeker, deep listener, right? But if Hirata Sensei, Reverend Hirata, give that Dharma message, he would break the promise with this member. So he was wondering before the service. Yeah. So then the funeral service started, and in his Dharma message, Reverend Hirata shared an story of one Jodo Shinshu follower. His name was Genza. And then the episode goes like this. So one time during the Dharma message, a minister asked, who will go to the hell? Right? This minister asked in the Dharma message to the audience members, who will go to the hell? So members, looked at each other. And then nobody, raised their hands, except this member, Genza. Only Genza raised his hand. Of course, nobody didn't want to go to hell, and then they didn't think they would go to hell because they thought they were not so bad, not so evil, right? But to this question, only Genza, he raised his hand. Then this minister asked another question, saying, who will go to the Pure Land? Who will go to the Pure Land? So members there, again, looked at each other, and then maybe, they were too shy or too, so reserved or endure, right? And then nobody raised their hands, again, except Genza, right? To this question, who will go to the, Pure Land? Again, only Genza, he raised his hand. I know it sounds confusing. Going to the hell, going to the Pure Land, right? He raised his hand for both questions. Right? But I would say this is Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. So at the Jodo Shinshu Buddhist temple, we enshrine Amida Buddha. So Amida is a Buddha of light. Yeah. I was so happy to, the two gathers for today. Yeah. So Amida's guides to the life, and then, DI talked about, DJ Soriano talked about, Buddha's light. And then next gather today is, the light, the wish the light over me. Yeah. So this is a, very wonderful choice of, gather today. So this Buddha of Amida, right? Buddha's light has many virtues and benefits, functions, right? And then one of them is, to show who we really are, or to show how we actually live our everyday life. The light of Buddha clearly shows them. Right? And then in the light of Amida, or with this light, what do we see? So I'm going to share a couple, hymns, poems composed by Venerable Shinran, who is the founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. Right? This is what the Venerable Shinran he discovered, or how he saw himself. And then many other Pure Land Buddhist masters, found something similar. The first one says, each of us in outward bearing makes a show of bearing wise, good, and then dedicated. But so great our greed, anger, perversity, and deceit, that we are filled with all forms of malice and cunning. And then this is the next one. Extremely difficult it is to put an end of our evil nature. The mind is a venomous snake or scorpion. Right? And then another one, I'm such that I don't know, right and wrong. I cannot distinguish false and true. I lack even small love, small compassion. And yet, for fame and profit, enjoy teaching others. Right? Those words are very severe, very critical. Yeah. But not only him, as we deeply listen to the teaching, or we humbly reflect upon ourselves in the light of Amida Buddha, we would understand what he said. So we live a life under the influence of greed, anger, stupidity, so-called three poisons in Buddhism. And then because of them, we suffer, right? And then we give troubles to others or to all living things. So since Venerable Shinran, truly realized who he was, who truly was, and then how he lived his everyday life, he said, I am incapable of any other practice, saying the Nembutsu, recitation of the Namo Amida Butsu. So hell is decidedly my abode, whatever I do. いずれの行も及びがたきになれば、とても地獄は一条住みかずかし。So this Buddhist priest, Buddhist monk Shinran, he was one of the greatest Buddhist monks in the medieval Japan. However, as he deeply listened to the teaching or humbly reflected upon himself in the light of Amida Buddha, those words came out of his mouth. However, don't get me wrong, the point of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is not to disappoint you or makes you, pessimistic or sad or negative or leading you to a self-negation. But the point of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is to truly know ourselves, especially with the help of Buddha's eyes of wisdom. So first, we need to figure out the issues or the cause of issues. And then we start working on the solutions or betterment. Right? So without knowing anything, without knowing the cause of our trouble, issues, nothing can be improved. Nothing can be solved. Right? So it's very important to know why we suffer, why we have trouble. Right? So to know ourselves, to know the reality of this world is very, very important. That is the first step of Buddhism. Right? And then Jodo Shinshu tradition, we do so in the light of Amida Buddha, with the help of Amida Buddha's light of wisdom. So because of the true reality of how we live our everyday life, Buddha provides many lessons, a lot of guidance, so that we can live better in this samsara, which is, I would say, Buddha's compassion, providing a guidance, giving a lesson to us. That is Buddha's compassion. And then eventually, when we complete our lives in this world, in this samsara, we will be liberated from this samsara, realm of continuous suffering. And this liberation is so-called birth in the Pure Land. This liberation is so-called birth in the Pure Land. So in the Pure Land, land of purity, there is no suffering. because there is no cause of suffering anymore. Then how do we achieve this such revelation? Right? So in Buddhism, there are many practices. We are required to perform complete many and lengthy practices. But in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, it's not a difficult, long practice. But just say Namo Amida Butsu. Just recite Buddha's name, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. That's how we can achieve the revelation from this life of suffering, life in samsara. So today I use this quote by Venerable Shinran, saying the name Nembutsu recitation of Namo Amida Butsu. One will attain birth in the Pure Land of bliss without fail. This is because birth through the Nembutsu is brought about by the Buddha's primal vow. 皆を称するは必ず安楽浄土に往生を得るなり、仏の本願によるがゆえなりとのたまえり。That's what Shinran Shonin said. So we say Namo Amida Butsu, we say recite the Nembutsu. But our recitation, this recitation is also our kind of response to Buddha's calling to us, our acceptance of Buddha's wish, Buddha's aspiration. Amida Buddha knows how hard it is to live a life in samsara. Amida Buddha knows we need to deal with many difficulties, challenges in our everyday life. So this Buddha feels sorry or sad that we cannot but live a life inseparable from suffering, difficulties, challenges. So that's why Amida Buddha wants us to encounter the teaching or listen to the Dharma so that we can be liberated from this life of suffering, or we can find a way to deal with all those difficulties, challenges. So wherever we are, whenever we are, wherever we are, and then whatever we do, we are always Amida Buddha's compassion. We are always in Amida Buddha's embrace. So once we realize it, as Genza, he lays his hand without any doubt, we are sure to attain in the Pure Land, realm of nirvana, when we complete this life, with the Dharma, or complete this life with the guidance of Amida Buddha. So as we deeply listen to the Dharma or teaching of Amida Buddha, we become aware of two things. Okay, we become aware of two things. So one is kind of our humble reflection of who we really are. Right? So this is the one awareness we receive with this light. And then second thing is our kind of grateful, realization or appreciation that we are always in Amida Buddha's compassion. We are always in Amida Buddha's embrace, wherever we are, whenever we are, wherever we are. So those two are kind of two sides of one coin, right? Two sides of one coin. So that's why Genza, who will go to the hell, raised his hand, because he knew who he was, and he knew what he carries within himself, 3 poisons. And then at the same time, another question, who will go to the Pure Land? Since Genza, he knew that kind of Amida Buddha's embrace, compassion. He was sure he will attain birth in the Pure Land. Right? So the life of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is a kind of combination of kind of those two things, always kind of within ourselves. Right? And then we live our everyday life, those two, realization, awareness. That's how we can live a deep, meaningful life. So again, thank you very much for attending today's service. I would like to conclude my Dharma message reading this passage of Venerable Shinran one more time. So if you can, please put your hands together in Gassho. Saying the name, Nembutsu recitation of Namo Amida Butsu, one will attain birth in the Pure Land of bliss without fail. This is because
birth through the Nembutsu is brought about the Buddha's primal vow. In Japanese, 皆を称するは必ず安楽浄土に往生を売るなり、仏の本願によるがゆなりとのたまえりと。ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏、ナマンダ仏。
Thank you, Reverend Kurahara, for your wonderful Dharma message. Please rise if you are able to follow along with the Gatha, Wash Over Me, which is on the handout.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Microphone is on. So this song, we are going to sing it without an accompaniment. And we sing together. The simplest version of the song is we sing the chorus 6 times. The stuff below is ad lib, right? So once you learn it, we can do the ad lib. So I'm going to sing the chorus for you once, and then we're going to learn it together. Wash the light over me so I can see what I can see. What is real and what is true? When the day comes, all is new. That's it. We repeat that over again. All right? So let's do the first line. Wash the light over me. Let me hear that again. Wash the light over me. Yes. So I can see what I can see.
So I can see what I can see.
What is real and what is true?
What is real and what is true?
When the day comes, all is new.
When the day comes, all is new.
Beautiful. Let's sing it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wash the light over me so I can see what I can see. What is real and what is true? When the day comes, all is new. Wash the light over me so I can see what I can see. Wait. What is real and what is true? When the day comes, all is new. Wash the light over me so I can see what I can see. What is real and what is true? When the day comes, all is new. Wash the light over me so I can see what I can see. What is real and what is true? When the day comes, all is new. Wash the light over me so I can see what I can see. What is real and what is true? When the day comes, one more time. Wash the light over me so I can see what I can see. A new life, real and what is true. When the day comes, all is new.
Oh, I guess you can be seated. Sorry. Now we would like to introduce a new guest. Please rise or wave your hand so we can see you. Steve Johnson. Welcome. We will now read the announcements that have been submitted. The Making of American Buddhism, a book launch event, will be here in the temple at 8:30 a.m. I'm sorry, at 11:30 a.m. Dr. Scott Mitchell, Dean of IBS, introduces his new book, The Making of American Buddhism and How Japanese Americans Helped Shape American Buddhism. Reverend Dr. David Matsumoto, president of IBS and a former BBT minister, will moderate the presentation. Please join us if you can. No registration is required. There will be an online meditation and discussion on Wednesday, June 21st at 7 p.m. Sign-up link is on our website. There'll be a Dharma monthly online study session, June 29th at 6:30 p.m. The topic is Sambuge. Sign-up link is on the website. And there will be a Okukamari cemetery visit on Saturday 8th, which is the Obon Day. We will visit the Sunset Cemetery at 9 a.m. and meet at the Heian Garden area. Then we will visit the Chapel of Chimes at noon and meet at the Berkeley Buddhist niche site. Please join us if you would like to participate. Obon Odori will be held on Saturday, July 8th at 6:30 p.m. here at BBT. Everyone is welcome to participate. Practice sessions are on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. on June 20th, 22nd, 27th, and 29th, and on July 6th here at BBT on the social hall. You can pre-order chicken bento to be picked up on the day of the Obon. To order, please visit our website, or the information is also in the weekly email. The last day to order is Wednesday, June 28th. I think, John, do you have another announcement?
Hi, Gary. Thanks. We're going to have believe it or not, we're going to have an Oakland A's tailgate. Yeah, laughs included. And it's going to be on Saturday, September 2nd, against Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Angels. Tickets are at $24. Parking is $20 discount. We're going to pre-order bentos at Musashi. Last year worked out really well. And I've got some menus to just come see me, pay me either by check or Venmo or cash. And the deadline is August 1st. So I'm not going to say let's go A's. So let's go Vegas A's. So yeah. So see me if you want. And I've got copies of the Musashi menu. Okay, thank you.
Sadako-san, would you like to make an announcement?
Good morning and happy Father's Day to all you fathers. In case some of you missed the show Sentimental Journey that was at the Freight and Salvage, it'll be presented again in San Francisco this coming weekend on the 23rd. And on the 24th, there's going to be a special presentation honoring Benkyodo. They served the community for 110 years. And so Soji was asked to write something special, and he did kind of and you'll enjoy it. So check their website, and this is done by the Grateful Crane. Now, if you miss it there, they're going to be in Watsonville and in San Jose, kind of back to back. That's in August. So check their website. The Sentimental Journey is honoring the Nisei, so I believe you will enjoy the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So now I'd like to say thank you to all those who have made today's service possible. So first, Gary, thank you for being today's chairperson. Thank you very much. And then thank you, Bradley, Myron, David, Romeo, and then Berman for your help during today's live streaming service. ありがとうございました。Thank you. And thank you, Tony and Ryan, for monitoring the chat room on our YouTube channel. ありがとうございました。And then thank you, DI, for playing a wonderful, Garza today. ありがとうございました。Thank you. And then thank you, Jun Toban monthly group, for preparing the refreshments in the social hall for the after the service. ありがとうございました。Thank you. And then I have one, or maybe one more announcement. So June 25th, next Sunday, so we will have a Sochoki. It's a kind of memorial service for the bishops of the Buddhist churches of America. And then we will have a guest speaker, Reverend Kodo Umezu. And then after the Sochoki service here at the BBT, we plan to go to Koloma Cemetery. Koloma Japanese Cemetery to do some like a gravesite visit and then have a short service, which we did before the COVID. So we'd like to resume. But so I want to know how many people want to go to the cemetery. If kind of 4 people, I can use my van. But if we have more people, so we need need somebody to drive. So maybe next Sunday. After the service, I will, coordinate that trip. Yes, Judy.
Why are you going to Colma?
Oh, because there is a big, gravestone of BCA honoring or remembering all BCA ministers. So it's kind of memorable, nice to visit BCA, gravesite once a year, and then to show our gratitude or our predecessors. Thank you, Judy. Arigato. So, and then one more time, I would like to, ask you to stay for this today's, book event with Dr. Scott Mitchell and then Dr. David Matsumoto after the, this service. Yeah. Okay, so this concludes today's service. Yeah, thank you very much for today's, service for, in person and virtually. Yes, Judy. Uh-huh.
It was only one day yesterday.
Oh, only yesterday. ごめんなさい. Yes. Oh, so I missed one. Oh, okay.
They did well. They ran out.
Okay, good. Yeah, I shouldn't go. まあ、行かなくてよかったね。はい、わかりました。Okay, ごめんなさい。Once again, yeah, this concludes today's service. And then thank you everyone for attending today's service in person and virtually. ありがとうございました。So please take care and see you next Sunday. ナワンダブツナワンダブツナワンダブツナワンダブツナワン